How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Joy-Ann Reid of MS-13 DNC. You may know it as MSNBC, saying that Republicans would trade all their tax cuts just for the ability to say the N-word again, like the good old days. Now, this was a ridiculously crazy tweet, but what are you going to expect from a person like Joy-Ann Reid? This is right on brand for her and MSNBC in general. I mean, they're really deep on the whole Q thing. They're pushing the Q thing more than anybody else. MSNBC, ABC, CBS, any kind of left-leaning station or far left-leaning place, they're going to push Q more than anybody. They're trying to paint all Trump supporters, all 75, 80, 100 million, however many of us there are. They're trying to paint all of us as QAnon supporters, crazy conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat wearers, when in reality, it's them on their side that are the tinfoil hat wearers that are the conspiracy theorists. They're the ones keep talking about Russia this, Russia that. And as a matter of fact, Joy-Ann Reid is one of the biggest Russia instigators on television. Every other time I see her, it's about Russia this. Oh, well, she knows somebody from Russia, and her aunt, best friend's baby daddy from a second marriage is also Russian. Oh, she's half Russian. It's like they're xenophobic. And I also saw that she had some quote unquote homophobic stuff from a blog back in the day. So when you point the finger at us, Joy-Ann Reid, as regular normie Trump supporters, you got a few more coming right back at you. But let's get back to this tweet. I'm going to put some tweets on the screen because I got to give you the context. So we're going to go back then forth. This tweet right here from Bari Weiss is how it started. Now, I think Bari Weiss, if I'm not mistaken, she's somebody that used to be with New York Times. So this is a former lefty, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But here's the tweet that she put out. And I think this is a link to a page. And I'll put all of this in the description box below so you can read it for yourself in full. But the link says the silent majority in red America and blue America, an epidemic of self-censorship is threatening democracy. All right. And then her tweet about that particular link says self-censorship is the norm, not the exception. A student at one of the country's top law schools wrote, I self-censor even when talking to some of my best friends for fear of word getting around. So that right there means people are censoring what they say. They're very careful about what they say. They don't want to say the wrong thing and step on anybody's toes. Okay. So let's say, for example, you're in a class and you have, everybody gets up and speaks. Everybody does a presentation, oral presentation. And you're a white guy. You compliment your black friend. Hey, you did a great job speaking. You were excellent, top of the class. Your diction and your skill, and you made eye contact with everybody. It was beautiful. You did great, man. Shout out to you. And then they get offended. Oh, you think because I'm black that I can't read, that I can't talk, that I don't know how to do this? You're othering me and all this and that. It's like, wait, hold on. I was just saying you did a good job. And even if it's not confrontational, there might be some chattering behind the scenes about you. Oh, they just want to, he just wants to, acknowledge black people because he's fetishizing and, he thinks that a black person can't do what I did. He's a racist, right? You're thinking you're doing good and just by being a friend, giving them a compliment. But now in the whole woke society, you got to censor yourself. It's to the point where you can't say anything to anybody. And then if you don't say anything to a black person for fear of being criticized as a racist, then you're criticized for not including them, for being exclusionary and not inclusionary, if that's a word. You get criticized for being exclusionary and not being inclusive. So you can't really win for losing. So it's just, you walking on eggshells. You walking on a minefield of eggshells, right? So that was the first tweet that was sent out by Bari Weiss. And then here's another tweet from Jason Johnson. Now, this guy, I've seen him on MS-13 DNC before. When we went to the White House in 2018 with Turning Point and Young Black Leadership Summit with Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Charlie Kirk, the whole squad, and we were there was this whole big hit piece all over. It was like one giant hit piece all over the internets, all over mainstream media, online, everywhere, talking about, these are self-hating people. They don't know themselves. And he was one of the main guys. Oh, they're self-hating. They don't know who they are. They want to support this racist president. It was a mess. It was crazy. Like, The mask from the Democratic Party was totally off. You got white folks talking about, oh, they're too raucous and rowdy, they're rambunctious, it was wild. But anyway, he was one of the main ones talking about us in a negative way, Jason Johnson. And here's his response to Bari Weiss's tweet. Yes, because code switching, mask wearing, and all of the other hoops that black people have to go through to appease enough of the majority to even get into law school isn't the issue. But censoring yourself from saying the N-word amongst friends is. Now, what does the N-word got to do with it? There's nothing in that tweet right there, or even in the piece, says anything about the N-word. So why would you bring that up? It's not even about, not saying racial slurs. I think everybody knows that. If you say a racial slur to somebody, that's going to be a problem, especially the N-word. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. We're talking about basic things that used to be compliments, that used to be positive affirmations, can now be seen as somehow discriminatory. All right. You don't know what the current offensive thing of the day is, so you just censor and you pretty much don't say anything. You keep your mouth shut, zipped up, taped up, because you don't want to offend anybody. That's what the whole thing is about from my point of view. And if I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But mask, what does a mask wearing got to do with trying to please people? Don't y'all say that on the left? Oh, wear a mask, save lives, wear a mask, save lives. I don't understand. Wasn't it Greg Abbott down in Texas who says, okay, no mask mandates, but you guys over at MS-13 DNC want to criticize him for that? Your man Joe Biden talking about it's Neanderthal thinking. So which one is it? Is wearing the mask good? Is it bad? Is a mask mandate good or bad? I can't really tell according to you guys. And that's the whole point right there. We don't know what's offensive from day to day. And when I say we, I'm talking about regular people and not you ridiculous, getting triggered all the time, left-wing nut jobs, right? So that was his tweet. And then here comes Joy-Ann Reid with what she said. And I'll read it right quick. I'll say it again. People on the right would trade all the tax cuts for the ability to openly say the N-word like in the good old days. To them, not being able to be openly racist and discriminatory without consequence is oppression. Trump is an avatar for this freedom. Now, this is a crazy thing to say because, first of all, are Republicans the same color? Are they all white? Are they all racist? So you are being prejudiced and discriminatory against people that are Republican, or they may vote for Trump or whatever the case may be. You're being discriminatory. All right. And there's just as many white folks on the right as there is on the left. That's just the reality of it. I mean, without white America, the left wouldn't win. And without white America, the right wouldn't win because they're the majority population. People like Joy Reid tend to ignore their own party. You got a 78-year-old racist white man in office right now. But you want to say that the other side, they're the racists, they're the xenophobes, they're the homophobes. What about your old tweets, Miss Joy-Ann Reid, or your old blog posts? What about that? What about right now in 2021 when you're assuming people are Republican and racist and white? All right. It's just really crazy, but this is what they do. And people like this, your Joy Reids, this thought process is what permeates television, mainstream media when you're talking about online, offline, everywhere. This is what permeates it, which is why you get so much of this negative, ridiculous coverage. All right. They're talking about, oh, QAnon's going to the Capitol on March 4th. Meanwhile, nobody was there. It was a nothing burger. They put out half true, half false stories talking about, a piece of the wall at the border was cut. They put it out there to make you think that it's Trump's wall that was cut. Meanwhile, it was the old quote unquote fence or barrier, like Hillary Clinton called it, that got cut down. They put out fake stories, false narratives, and they believe in the conspiracy theories. They're the real tinfoil hat wearers. They are the true basement dwellers with the pictures on the wall, clippings from magazines on the wall with single letters on it with red lines going from place to place. That's them. So this ain't nothing but gaslighting. This ain't nothing but just, crazy finger pointing for no reason other than to disguise what they're doing and to attack us in an openly partisan fashion. Not even trying to see what the person was talking about, because in the original article, in the original tweet, matter of fact, it says right and left. It's not even a thing that's necessarily, for the right or for the left. It's about communication between people, regardless of where you lie on the political aisle. But as I close, I want to say this. I'm not surprised at what Joy-Ann Reid said here. This is pretty much typical. If you watch MS-13 DNC for longer than 5-10 minutes, you'll see this. You'll see, who is that? Little Brian Stelter. Shout out to Mark Dice for the hilarious impersonations. But you see Little Brian Stelter, Joy-Ann Reid, Jason Johnson, all these ridiculous people. What's her name? Nicole something. You guys know what I'm talking about. Nicole Wallace, is that her name? You'll see all these people over there talking this really race-charged, racist stuff while calling us on the right the racist. It's not us. We're not the people that you need to be worried about. Those on the left that are always worried about race when everything is predicated upon your race rather than about who you are. And like I said before, there was a guy back in the day, back in the 60s, that said, judge not by the color of their skin and judge by the content of their character. Man, I wonder if he was around today, what the left would say about him. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Joy-Ann Reid said about the tax cuts? And if you could just take all those away from Republicans and then give them the ability to say the N-word, they'd be cool with that? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about MS-13 DNC in general and all their super woke anchors like Joy-Ann Reid, Jason Johnson, Nicole Wallace, and the FBI snitch Al Sharpton? Whatever your thoughts on them are, let me know in the comments below. But you guys pretty much know where I stand. I think that Joy Reid and all these people are ridiculous. They call us the conspiracy theorists when in reality, they are the conspiracy theorists. It's ain't nothing but gaslighting. And quite frankly, I think it's getting kind of old. Okay, it's getting real old. The ratings are suffering as a result from what I've been able to see. And my hope, my wish is that people just wake up and see what they're doing over there. Wake up and see the reality of what they're trying to push, which is not the reality for most Americans. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.